I love making bread, but a lot of times I just don't have the time to wait on a full loaf to rise. I don't even have time to make quick rolls. Well, what I always have time to make are a quick batch of biscuits. Well, a couple of weeks ago I was playing around and I had several different ingredients sitting out on the counter that went for several different recipes. And it was like the food fairies gifted me with what I'm about to show you. This is a cream cheese drop biscuit. And I love drop biscuits because you do all of the work in the food processor, throw it in the oven, you don't have to have a rolling pin, you don't have to flour the counter, the mess doesn't get everywhere. Love it. Super fast, easy, and they're really, really delicious. They come out fluffy and lovely. Alright, so this is how you do it, and there's nothing to it. I've got 2 cups of all-purpose flour in the bowl of a food processor. And you can do it by hand if you want to. I'm just lazy. I love to pull this out when I don't have a whole lot of time. So that was just a pinch of salt, and I like to use kosher salt. And then that's a teaspoon of baking soda. No, it's not. It's baking powder. I'm sorry. It's baking powder. Now, unlike a traditional rolled biscuit, a drop biscuit is very freeform. Alright, we had to mix together our dry ingredients. It's very freeform. You don't have to roll it out. They're kind of rough and rustic. And when foodies talk about food being rustic, it's what people around here call country. So you're just talking about a very casual food. Now, I put 3 ounces of cream cheese and a 1/4 cup of salted cold butter in there. And both of them were cold, straight out of the fridge. You don't have to worry about letting them come to room temperature. The fats that are in the butter and the lactic acid that you have in both the butter and the cream cheese are going to check and make sure everybody's mixed up. And we need a little bit more. If you do this, watch the blades on your food processor. Don't stick your fingers down that far. Are we good? I think we're good. Alright, now, we're almost done. I love something that quick and easy. Alright, so, that's why I don't make biscuits more. I wear them. Alright, now this is just 2/3 of a cup of buttermilk. Now the lactic acid that's in here and what came in the cream cheese are going to activate with the baking powder. And that's going to give you a nice, light, fluffy biscuit on the inside. It's not flaky because you're not creating the layers that you do with a rolled biscuit. And that's it. Off. See here. See how that's a nice sticky dough? That's perfect. That's exactly what you want. Now, if you were to roll this out, it'd be fine. You can do that if you want to. If you want something that's a particular size, or if you want to use a biscuit cutter to get a very uniform shape, that's no problem. But this is even faster. This is just a scooper, and I'm not even sure what size it is. It's a couple tablespoons, and I like to do it this way. Now, you can put these a little close together. I line them all the way up down through there, and I get 15 to 18 out of a batch. And since I have so many children, and quite often my brothers and my nieces and nephews, I love something that's this fast and gives me just the right amount. Another cool thing about this is all kinds of biscuits will take to lots of different additives and flavors that you want to put in there. And this one will too. I've made this with Parmesan and a little Swiss cheese. You could use just about any kind of herb combination you want. A little garlic would be fabulous if you wanted to put it with cheddar cheese, or you could do a little bit of thyme in there. So this is all there is to it. Drop them out like this. Now, back over here, I've got my oven preheated, and it's at 375 degrees. And I know if you see it behind me, I know it says it's at 405, but that's because, remember, I've told you to calibrate your oven. Get an oven thermometer. So it's really, truly at 375. One more? Yeah, we get one more. Oh, 2 more. Alright, so that's it. Take a little bit of butter. You can brush the tops with cream if you want to. I actually use this recipe with slightly smaller scoops, and I use it to top a chicken pot pie that goes together in no time. But this is, this is it. This is all you do to it. So you can use butter, you can use cream. Both of them will give that lovely golden brown thing that happens. Alright, so my oven's already preheated, 375 degrees. I'm going to finish popping these with butter, and I'm going to stick them in the oven. They're going to go for about 18 to 20 minutes. And when they have had that time in there to get beautiful, I'll be back to show you what they look like. Okay, you ready? Timers went off. I actually added a few minutes to these. I like them golden. And they weren't quite there yet, so I added a few minutes. But no matter which way you do it, they're not going to take long. I want to show you this. Burning my fingers. There we go. It shows you a little bit. There, can you see? Look how beautiful that is. And the flavor is wonderful. Even when they're baking and you've got that smell of freshly baked bread, you can also smell the tang that comes from the buttermilk and from the cream cheese. They're really light and fluffy and tender on the inside, and that golden outside is fabulous. That's all there is to it. I'm going to go find the butter.